Hi, this is Dana or Curie. It's so great to have you here. This is my first video for 2020. Happy New Year, everyone. I am so excited about this new decade, and we're going to start off with a positive message today. So our topic today is inner healing with healthy boundaries. And I chose this topic because it oftentimes comes up with people who are having challenges in toxic relationships, any form of narcissistic abuse, people who are married and they're not happy, people who have family or friends or their boss or coworkers who are mistreating them, who are stepping on their boundaries, just kind of trampling all over their boundaries. You know how that can be. And so I really believe that the best way to start this year is for us to really start taking a good look at boundaries and what boundaries are. And we have to understand that for many of us, if we want inner healing, it does involve creating firm boundaries. And these are boundaries that we are going to stand by, and we're going to continually make sure that people respect them, or else they can find the door. They can find the door. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to give various tips, and we're going to start with that boundaries are created because they are to protect us. They are to empower us. They are to increase our emotional and physical wellness. And even we should also add relationships at work. You know, anything to do with relationships, whether it's something super personal or it's just career-wise, it's important to still have boundaries. And we don't want people who are in our lives who take advantage of us. And so that is why we really need to consider forming the boundaries. And sometimes people say, well, I want to, I might need to, I just don't know how to. So today, I'm going to teach you how to do that. So the first thing we have to understand is this important fact. So know this in advance, people. Just because we create healthy boundaries, it does not mean that everybody understands our boundaries. It doesn't mean that everybody respects our boundaries. And when it comes to boundaries, we also must know in advance that a lot of us, especially scapegoats, you know, the black sheep of the family, we didn't grow up with boundaries. We never even knew what they were. It didn't exist in our life. It literally did not exist. So many of us from very, very young all the way through adulthood were never even exposed to what a healthy boundary is. Now, I admit, you know, I grew up in such a toxic environment with a narcissistic parent and toxic siblings, and we were never taught. You know, we didn't see it demonstrated. It was something that was absent in the home, which really can make it challenging then, obviously, once we become adults, because then we notice that people are mistreating us and people are abusing us, and we're in relationships that are toxic. And then we end up working for a boss who's really narcissistic. I mean, so we could repeat this pattern over and over until we determine this is it. 2020 is the year to form those healthy boundaries and to really rein in on what matters most. So even if you don't have a background with boundaries and you never even knew about it, or you never even were taught, you know, in your home how to care about yourself and how to protect yourself and how to have these boundaries, it's okay. And today's the day. Take back your power. Time to form boundaries. All right, so the first step to creating boundaries is number one, to build awareness, and number two, to listen to that soft voice within you. So here's really important questions to start asking yourself, and you might even want to get some paper, take some notes. This is educational. Number one, ask yourself, what are my morals, beliefs, and values? Number 2, what are my gut instincts telling me? Number 3, do I give myself permission to say no to others? Or do I feel obligated to cave in to their unrealistic demands for my life, my time, my resources? Next, am I a people pleaser? The next one is, do I practice self-love, self-respect, and self-care? The next question, can I learn to assert myself and honor who I am as a human being? And the last one, do I seek approval and acceptance from others? If so, is this preventing me from having healthy boundaries? Okay, so these are all really great questions. This is a great place to begin. It's really important that you take a look at these questions and you start deciding on what are your morals? What are your standards? Are you a people pleaser? Are you allowing people to push you around and tell you what to do, what not to do, how to do it, when to do it? Because we know that there's a lot of toxic people out there who love to push our buttons and tell us what to do. Okay, next is we have an internal GPS. Okay, it's there to help us base what our needs are, what our beliefs are, what our morals are, and to determine what our values are. And these are important. These are things that are like non-negotiable. Non-negotiable, meaning if you have something that is your belief, or it's something that is to do with your morals, it's non-negotiable. You're not going to change to make other people happy. No, it's your morals. It's your life. It's your health. It's your choice. It's up to you. Next, we have to be also understanding that when it comes to boundaries, we really need to have very clear and concise communication skills. Communication skills is extremely huge because so often miscommunication happens, especially on social media and emails and text messaging. So if you want to have a very important topic with someone, like a talk, like a discussion, a heart-to-heart, especially when it's to do with healthy boundaries, it's better to do it face-to-face so you could kind of look at the body language. Next is when you're face-to-face with someone, you could read their body language, but also what happens is your gut intuition, these gut instincts will alert you to if someone is just gaslighting you, if someone is manipulating you, if someone speaks something and you just know in your gut, they're messing with you. Oh, they're messing with you. See, if we are just texting something to someone, we can miss important cues because we don't see their face, we don't see their expression, we don't see their body language. They could be lying through their teeth, people. So, I really believe a lot of times talking and communicating to others about our boundaries is best face-to-face, but no matter how you do it, when you do it, try to be as clear in your communication as possible. Okay, next, we're gonna move on to how to build better boundaries and maintain them. Number 1, you do have an internal GPS. You may be unaware of it, but today this is good news for you because this internal GPS helps you to know your limits, to know your standards. You could consider what you will do, what you won't do, what you will accept, what you won't accept. You could define behaviors that you will not tolerate. There could be certain things that you're just, again, non-negotiable, unapologetically. You are not putting up with certain things, certain behaviors. Some people will not tolerate any form of profanity. Other people, it's something else. It might be touching. They don't permit others to touch them. But you know what your standards are, and if you don't, you better start creating them. You better start deciding what really matters to you. Next, understand that Your internal GPS is actually alerting you when someone's crossing your boundaries. Okay, number 2, tune into yourself. Get to know you. Ask yourself how you are feeling when someone says something or does something to you, or even say someone asks something of you. Okay, we're just gonna give a make-believe. Say someone says, I don't have a ride to work and I need a ride at 6 a.m. on Monday morning. Can you drive me? But just say at that exact time you have another obligation. Then you need to speak up. You need to say no. No explanation necessary. You don't have to worry about what they think, what they don't think, if they're going to judge you. You know what? It's your life and it's your time. And if you already have obligations, you're not available and you don't have to explain yourself. Next is when you tune into yourself during the time when someone's asking something of you or speaking to you, or they have certain expectations of you, pay attention. Is it making you uncomfortable? Do you become anxious? Do you start feeling resentful towards this person? Are you stressed out? If so, that is a red flag that someone is violating your boundaries. Next, number 3, clear communication. I am just such a huge believer on clear communication because everything in relationships all comes down to communication. It can make it or break it, baby. Make it or break it. All right, so here we go. Be direct in your approach to healthy boundaries. Say what you mean, say what you like, say what you don't like, say what you will accept and what you won't accept. Make it very crystal clear. Next, communicate clearly to others what you are willing to do versus what you are not willing to do. Next, self-respect. Number 4, self-respect. Part of enforcing boundaries is respecting ourselves, to respect our talents, to respect our time, to respect our resources, to respect our property and our purpose in life. It begins with respecting you. Next, this means that no one has the right to dictate how you will spend your time, how you will spend your money, how you will spend your vacation, how you will spend your resources, and how you live your life. It's your life, not theirs. Number 4, we're still on self-respect. When you treat yourself with tender, loving care, and you do not permit others to take advantage of you or walk all over you, it is your message. It is your message saying, I respect myself and I expect you to do otherwise, to do so. And when we start giving off, vibes to people that we do love ourselves and we do care about ourselves and that we do protect our boundaries and that we really do respect our lives and we would like others to respect our lives, they usually do know, they usually can tell, but oftentimes communication is still important just to verbalize it and make it clear, just in case someone forgot. Number 5, listen to your gut instincts. I cannot speak this any clearer than I am now. Your gut instincts are like a little red antenna. They are alerting you. They are trying to get your attention. They're letting you know if something is wrong, if something is dangerous, if someone's crossing your boundaries. Okay? So tune into your gut instincts. So some people call it intuition. Pay attention. Next is if something is signaling you that something's not right. So you're not really sure. It's just like there's like some uncertainty. Something in you is just not feeling right. Your gut's just like, I don't know. I'm starting to have like a racing heartbeat and I'm starting to have like a little bit of anxiety. That is your gut instinct trying to tell you that something is wrong. And if you feel like something's not right, trust it, something's not right. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next one, which is number 6. And this one is family history. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. This one's a hot topic because so many of my subscribers and people who are watching my videos about the black sheep in the family and your toxic siblings and your narcissistic husband or your narcissistic parent, whatever it may be, I have had hundreds upon hundreds of comments. People, please know I am trying so hard to answer you and respond to you and what's going on in your life. So many are sharing their family history, and we have a lot in common, people. So many of you are the scapegoats. Hello, I'm the black sheep in the family. How do you do? And many of you have been raised with abusive people. Some of you have dealt with narcissistic abuse. Some of you have dealt with being bullied by someone in the family. Maybe it was your sibling, maybe it was a cousin, maybe it was your parent. Some of you have even dealt with sexual trauma. Understand that I've been there, I've done that, I understand all of it. It's a painful thing. We have to know, though, that our family history plays a very important role as adults. You know, a lot of us, we didn't grow up to have our parents practice and teach us healthy boundaries. Some of us didn't even understand love. You know, we were not really taught love and how heartbreaking that is. There are times in our family history we were silenced, we were harassed, we were manipulated. There was a lot of gaslighting. There was a lot of shaming, blaming, the whole, you are the problem. Yeah, never a dull moment in the toxic, dysfunctional family. So we have to realize that our family history will play a role, but just because we were raised in a family that was quite toxic doesn't mean as adults that we have to continue this pathway, that we can say, I'm done, and walk away. We could end all of the abuse. We could end all ties. We could go full no contact, or some people who are married to a narcissist and then become divorced discover that they're always going to be in contact with that narc. Why? Because they have children. That's when gray rock becomes a stepping stone to your sanity. Check out gray rocking. It could be vital for people who are in marriages that split up and you have kids, and that means you will be in contact with them even though you don't want to be. Next, let's move on to number 7. Self-care is a top priority, people. When we practice self-care, we give ourselves permission to care for our needs physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, relationally, and so forth. Next, we have to understand that when we spend quiet time to refuel and, you know, a lot of times we're feeling weary. You know, if we have, whether we're in or we're out of toxic relationships, you know, it could really wear us down. It's very draining, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. So we have to understand that self-care will become a top priority during the inner healing. So self-care is the key to improving your moods, your health, your vitality, your dreams, your interest, other relationships, brand new relationships. Say hello to some new relationships in 2020 because there's great things ahead of us. Next, rest and self-care are important because then we're taking care of ourselves and then we're better equipped to take care of others. Understand that when we take time to replenish our soul, it allows us to be at our best to serve others and be there and support them. Next is number 8, be responsible for yourself. So when we form boundaries, we are being accountable. We are being responsible for ourselves, our lives, our future. Never apologize or feel guilty for setting boundaries. Nothing to feel guilty about, people. You have your right to have boundaries. Next, understand that you are responsible only for yourself. You are not responsible for that toxic person who you might live with, or the person who you went no contact with, or your toxic boss. He's a narc. Okay, so it could be, that you have some people that are still kind of lingering in your life, wherever it may be. Understand, you are not responsible for their behaviors, words, actions, and abuse. It's not your fault, and understand that. Just take responsibility for you, your actions, your words, and be firm and clear in establishing and maintaining your boundaries. Number 9, do the inner healing work. Okay, so if we have been used, abused, tossed aside, holy cow, the narcissistic abuse is quite debilitating and it's heartbreaking. And when we say goodbye and we might end the relationship and go no contact, it is not an easy pathway, but we have to stand strong. And part of the healing work is taking care of us. It's letting them go, releasing the toxic people. Adios. Bye-bye. And we're going to focus on us. So the inner work means we're not going to worry about the other people. We're not going to worry about the toxic people. We're going to take time to start focusing on us. We're going to focus on doing the work. So part of it's being mindful. Part of it is being aware of what's going on around you. Part of it is tuning into your body and listening to the signals. The signals might be saying, I have a lot of anxiety. I'm feeling stressed out. This person keeps bullying me and text messaging me, or maybe they're retaliating against you. But you have to understand the healing work means you're going to step away from the drama. You're not going to engage with toxic people. No talking, no texting, no following them on Facebook. Please break contact with them. Block them on social media. Block them on your cell phone. Do your best to block them from your life. But turn all attention onto you. Find time, intentional time to care for you. What does that mean? Everyone's different, so healing's different for you and me. What does it mean? It could mean soaking in a hot bubble bath. It could mean diffusing essential oils. It could mean getting a good night's sleep because you really need it. It could mean taking a walk in nature. Bird watching. I love bird watching. You know I love those red cardinals. It might mean listening to ocean waves or listening to a guitar, an acoustic guitar, something really soothing. It could mean cuddling with your little furry friends, your dog or your cat, spending time just in nature. Journaling. Some people really do well expressing their feelings and walking that inner journey of healing by journaling and writing. It's super therapeutic. Okay, and here's number 10. We're going to end right here. Take back your power in 2020, people. Yeehaw! We're going to take back our power because we're no longer going to be silenced, because we're not going to stand for any form of abuse, whether it's physical, verbal, sexual, what have you. We're not going to go for it. Oh no. We are going to embrace our amazing story. We are going to empower ourselves because we're going to live out our fullest potential. We are going to be confident in ourselves. And in 2020, we are authentic. We are walking a brand new decade that is leading us into so much brilliance, so much positivity. There is just this wonderful, beautiful energy surrounding us that's cheering us on and saying you can do it and you deserve it and you're worthy. And so today, know that boundaries are essential and self-care is so important, and communicating clearly to others about our boundaries is also just crucial. And know that you deserve it, that you are important, and so much greatness is ahead of you in 2020. If you would like to share with me how you are practicing self-care, or what you love about taking care of yourself, or how you're dealing with these boundaries, or if you have questions about maintaining your boundaries, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, share, and you could go to my website for inspiration at danaarcuri.com. Thank you. Have a great day.